And welcome back to Who Would Win. So today's Who Would Win, this is another guy. I did one earlier this week where it was Ultra Instinct. Oh, no, sorry. No, that was last Friday. Where it was Ultra Instinct Shotgun Farmer from the beginning of Dragon Ball Z versus Sage of Six Paths Ichiraku, the ramen guy. And this one kind of falls in the same vein. This is from Bat Dan, who asked the question, who would win in a fight? Red Lantern Sasuke or Green Lantern Itachi? Now, you can see the amazing artistry I did. I can't figure out what I did wrong. Like, those symbols would have looked a lot better on their chests had it, but I had to fix it in either way. Anyway, but for some reason, I'll figure it out at another point in time what I did wrong. Point being, though, so Itachi versus Sasuke. First off, let's figure out who actually wins in an actual fight for Sasuke versus Itachi. Now, this fight actually took place in the manga, obviously, but since then, Sasuke's gotten far stronger. So when they fought, Itachi was actually the winner of that fight, but his disease had taken its toll on his body, and he died. So Sasuke technically won the fight, but we know it was Itachi. As Sasuke got stronger, though, it's clear that he was surpassing Itachi in many ways. But did that make him stronger than Itachi? Like, Itachi was clearly on another level than most shinobi. That's why he was actually able to break out of the Edo Tensei. I would say this. Looking at them as we see them by the end of the series, it's clear Sasuke is ultimately the stronger shinobi. But I do think there's ways Itachi could still beat Sasuke, just because he was that more intelligent than Sasuke was, and a lot more tactful. But ultimately, yes, Sasuke was the strong one. So if you give them both a lantern ring, what happens? Well, you have to understand the properties of both lantern rings. The green one obviously is fueled by will. The red one is fueled by rage. Both of them were extremely capable of both. But more importantly, Itachi clearly had a lot of willpower. He was clearly a very strong, skilled ninja, and that took years of training and discipline. And Sasuke, throughout the majority of his early years of the series, until near the end of the series, was so full of rage that he couldn't really, that it was a controlled rage, but he was still burning with rage. So both of these make sense. The Green Lantern ring, it has the basic lantern abilities, quite frankly. It's light constructs, shields, energy blasts, mind protection for manipulation. You can even time travel if you'd like. You can move at hyper speeds, durability, the works. The Rage Lanterns, though, are a little different. They do technically have all those, but only for select lanterns. Because because you're so fueled by rage, you tend to kind of be a bit of a mindless berserker in many ways, unless you're someone like Atrocitus, who is, someone who can actually control his rage and, keep it, you make it work for him, not make him work for it. So basically, he can be the master of his rage while still having it, while his rage is not his master. To quote the Sphinx from, partially quote the Sphinx from Mystery Men. But the Red Lantern core, it's the ring replaces your heart. Like, your heart gets basically dissolved, and you're spewing red, noxious, almost acid-like energy, like vomit. And it can even erode green light constructs from the Green Lanterns. Now, that being said, if you can control your rage and get some semblance of your mind back, you still have the general set of abilities that the Green Lanterns have. On the whole, the green will is stronger than rage ultimately, because you can only stay so angry for so long. Now, the rage does kind of continually fuel that anger, but you can only stay so angry for so long. Whereas will, you technically, as long as your will never wavers, you'll always have your willpower. So the question is, if these two fought with these lantern rings on, who would win? Well, see, that's tough, because while Sasuke's rage is very controlled at many points, if you gave him the ring, I think he kind of would just go berserk. He might subjugate the ring, he might make it work for him, but he'd still be a lot more angry than what he was presenting in the original series. So he'd have a lot less control of himself in some ways. It'd be easier to take advantage of him, which Itachi would certainly do. Now, Itachi also, if we're looking at Sasuke at the end of the series versus Itachi at the end of his life, I suppose. Both these guys have Susanoo. Both these guys have Amaterasu. It's actually not known if Sasuke had Tsukuyomi. He had Genjutsu. We see it when he tried to use it on B, but we don't know if he had Tsukuyomi. We know Itachi had Tsukuyomi. Plus, he had the Yata sword. Excuse me, the Yata mirror, and he had the Tosca blade. Sorry, not the Yata sword, the Tosca blade. And he had his long range attack, which were the beads, which were weird. So he could easily combine those with his lantern abilities, but so can Sasuke. In fact, we've seen him combine Amaterasu with his Susanoo. So it would definitely be a long, drawn-out fight. Sasuke, though, as Itachi keeps maybe belittling and kind of toying with Sasuke would more and more begin to lose it. He would more and more be giving into the rage and be more and more not thinking things clearly. And Itachi would be capitalizing on this. Ultimately, I think what would happen is Itachi would realize that the ring that Sasuke has is just like his, but just different. So what he would do is aim to get rid of the ring, because as ninja, deception, all that. So I think what would ultimately happen is Sasuke maybe attacks and just lands and just crushes the Itachi, but it turns out it's a shadow clone. Itachi suddenly appears behind him. Sasuke swipes, just crows. Using the ring, he kind of tries to get through the Genjutsu plus his Sharingan. But at that point, he goes, and then all of a sudden, Itachi just kind of starts cracking the ring using his willpower, plus Susanoo, plus Amaterasu. In fact, Amaterasu alone might be enough to destroy a lantern ring. Because we know lantern rings can be destroyed. It burns with like the same heat as the sun, basically. So if a ring could survive in the star, then maybe the ring could survive that. But Itachi's also got a Susanoo, which he would probably use. He'd probably use every trick he has in his arsenal. But by getting close, he does open himself up to Sasuke, who just spews acidic vomit on him, and it just burns. And Itachi just suddenly uses Tsukuyomi. Now, Sasuke is able to get out of it after a few moments, but those few moments are enough where suddenly Itachi just pulls the ring off. And suddenly, just using all his power, breaks it. That being said, he's still burned, he's still in pain. All of a sudden, Sasuke's like, because he has no heart. So the ring has you remove the ring, unless you're a being like Supergirl or someone who has regenerative capabilities, you're going to die if that ring is removed. And Itachi quickly realized this and realized that he just killed his little brother. And Sasuke's just kind of like looking at him just with hate, but also sad, and just falls over dead. Now, why do I think Itachi wins? Again, if we're going by how powerful they both are at the end of their respective storylines, Sasuke's clearly the stronger. He's got a Sharingan. It's Rin Sharingan. I call it the Sharingan. It's just easier and it sounds better. Sure, he's got a Sharingan. He's got his Mangekyo, Eternal Mangekyo to boot. He's got Susanoo. He's got Amaterasu. He does have Genjutsu. All the fire jutsu in the world. Chidori, Kirin. He's all that. You got a red lantern ring on there. He's freaking nuts. Itachi doesn't have quite as much of that in his arsenal, but Itachi is just a more experienced, more level-headed, and just more strategic individual than Sasuke. Not to say Sasuke is non-strategic, but comparatively, yeah, Itachi is more strategic. Plus, there is also Izanami that Itachi has as well, which would put Sasuke in a loop for a while until he could get out of it. Now, with the ring, he might be able to get out of it a lot quicker than he would without the ring, but it's debatable whether or not the Red Lantern ring could do it in the same capacity as the Lantern ring or will. And even then, even being stuck in the Genjutsu for like 5 seconds or more would give Itachi ample time to just get the ring off. So, in the Green Lantern ring alone, again, it's just a matter of will with the rage. What's going to outmatch other? With the Green Lantern ring, Itachi would definitely be having it would definitely be able to even out the playing field. There's a lot that can be going on. Like Sasuke could still use the Sharingan to teleport, but that uses up a large amount of chakra, so he doesn't use that sparingly. But again, with the ring on, he would just be able to kind of push off a lot of attacks. So even if he just suddenly replaced Itachi's position with something else, it really wouldn't matter, I think, just because they're both ninja at the same time. So a substitution's always an option. I will go with Itachi, though. I think Itachi would just be the more likely winner in a scenario like this. Honestly, you go any lantern ring to any lantern ring with these two. if somehow they all had each had any of the other lantern rings, some of them wouldn't work as well because their emotions don't lean towards that specific ring. But Itachi would still probably win the majority, if not all, of those bouts. That being said, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win. Star Wars, Superior Magic, what if anything to do in the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. Hit that bell if you want notifications. Till then, thanks for watching. See you later.